And it looks like we are live. This is Ralph, kind of in a dress down day today. Need to shave and kind of clean up a little bit, it looks like. But I thought I'd do a live stream. Kind of out in nature right now. It's a hot, humid day, and we're finally getting some good weather. We've had a lot of rain lately. So, yeah, I thought I'd take advantage of the nice weather and do a short broadcast outside. And thought I'd cover two topics today. The first one would be a follow up to the video that I shot yesterday and finally got uploaded to YouTube last night. And that is burning resin incense without using charcoal, instead, using a hot wax method. And in this method that I demonstrated in the video yesterday, you don't actually burn the resin. What you do is you just use an oil burner, kind of like this little guy here. And instead of oil in the dish, you put wax. And the practical upshot of this is that once that wax hardens, it does not leak out. I mean, you can accidentally spill this, that wax won't drip out. But when you're warming the wax, of course, with another candle underneath, the wax will soften. It will kind of brownish color, but you get that frankincense smell or whatever kind of resin incense. And it creates a nice, long-lasting fragrance. It takes a while to develop, but you really create a situation where you can use a small amount of incense and just reuse it, several times now. I've used this little experiment. This is once, burned it for a couple of hours. I'm going to try to fire this up again later on today inside the house and see how strong of a fragrance I get, and just kind of see how many times I can actually use that same incense before it starts losing its potency. But yeah, it's kind of a nice way, really, of being able to use hot wax to warm your resin incense and get an aroma, a fragrance off of it, and not have to deal with smoke from charcoal if you don't want to deal with that, or you don't, for health reasons, you don't really want to deal with that for whatever reason. So yeah, that experiment went well yesterday, and you can catch that video on my YouTube channel here. And I think I'll be doing some follow-ups on that. So yeah, just wanted to kind of do that. And I'm trying to do a few more live streams as possible, every week, to kind of get into the habit of doing live streams. And if you could suggest, those people watching now or who will be watching later on, if you have some topics that you would like me to cover, I'd be more than happy to do my best to cover those. Now, another topic that I thought I would get into, and this is kind of the topic of buyer beware. Sometimes you're out shopping on the internet, you're looking for either ritual supplies or home supplies or personal supplies, and you see something that just looks really good. I mean, almost too good to be true. And you go ahead, you order it, you buy it, and you end up being sorely disappointed. I did that about 3 months ago. I found some coins. They were supposed to be authentic silver coins from the 1800s and early 1900s. And I found them on Wish. And these silver dollars is what they were. And I'll show you what I got here. This is supposed to be a piece silver dollar. And if it were authentic, it would be a nice find. This would be worth probably $20, $50. And I found coins like this on a website called Wish. And I think I know now why they call it Wish, bargains that are just so too good to be true that you wish they were true. but found these priced for like, what was it, 10 for $10 plus $5 for shipping. And I mean, that is just an outrageous bargain. And when I first saw it listed, I thought, no, this is too good to be true, because 10 coins like these, if this was authentic, if this was an authentic silver dollar from the 1920s, this would be worth about $20. 10 of these would easily be worth about $200. To get 10 of them delivered to your door for $15, too good to be true. But another part of me said, okay, I've got to bite on this. I've got to see if this is actually legit. And I mean, I was saying to myself, well, what if somebody just got desperate, is selling their coin collection, and they're just letting it go for bargain, a bargain basement price because they don't know what they got, which is always a possibility. Sometimes you find people, selling stuff, they just want to get rid of it. They don't know what value it really has. And you can find some pretty outstanding prices. So I thought that's what this was. And I went ahead and I ordered 10 of these and 9 of another coin, a Morgan silver dollar that supposedly made in the 1800s. Found out these are actually made in China. They were probably made maybe a year ago. And these are not the real deal. And I mean, you can tell. I don't know if I can demonstrate this too well on camera right now, but there's something that I call the ping test. And that is where you take the silver dollar and you position it on your finger, and then you touch it, kind of ping it with another coin. And it gives you, what it should give you is a nice rich tone. Now, this tone, it sounds not too bad, but it's kind of a dead tone, and it's not authentic. They sell, I mean, you can find apps online in the Google Play Store. The one I use is called a precious metals detector. And I mean, you can just tell that just the sound quality alone, these coins are fake. And then you can take a closer look at the coin too, and you can see, okay, there's quite a bit wrong with this coin. I mean, it's a fairly well done counterfeit, but it is a counterfeit nonetheless. So, I mean, that's partially my bad there, because I knew at that price, $1 each, selling these things for practically face value, plus a little bit for shipping. It was a situation where it was just too good to be true. But something in me told me, okay, I'm a coin collector. I also had a purpose for those coins, thinking about doing, focusing on the date 1920 and 2020. So I thought if I could find an authentic piece silver dollar from the 1920s, that would suit my purposes just fine. And it's just, I don't know. It's just not that good. So anyway, thank you. I got a face for radio. Trim your nails. Okay. Okay, let's keep the comments kind of civil here. I'm here trying to share my experiences. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But anyway, yeah, that's just a couple of my experiences there. And in future videos, we will be talking about other other topics. That kind of threw me off a little bit there. I thought we were all supposed to be adults here. I guess not. Anyway, yeah. But anyway, yes, definitely. Now, the other thing I was going to say is that for a prosperity ritual, even if you find like a 1920 counterfeit, you can still use these coins for ritual and still do fairly well with them. You can go ahead. There's a tradition coming out of China where they use counterfeit currencies for their prosperity ritual. They will use counterfeit currencies uh, that are made out of paper and then burn them and use that in a prosperity ritual. I'm just using these around my own personal altar and still putting them to use for a prosperity ritual. But yeah, uh, so even if you get stuck with some counterfeits, you can still use them depending on what you're using them for. I would definitely, if you're a coin collector, keep stuff like that away from your legit coins, and and then just uh, just make sure you don't try to pawn them off on somebody else, and that's about it. And as far as I know, I mean, yeah, I don't think it depends on your own inner beliefs as far as whether or not the counterfeit using counterfeits would affect the quality of the ritual or the intent of the ritual. I mean, you just have to focus your intent. And I mean, you can put the intention into a counterfeit coin, knowing that it is a symbol of your intent. It doesn't have to be necessarily the real thing. Like I said a few minutes ago, in the Chinese and Oriental cultures, they sell paper currency that they use for their prosperity rituals, and it's fake. But I mean, they use it and they use it successfully in some of their prosperity rituals. So you can use actually counterfeit currency, and with the proper intent, you can pull it off. Now, I would have much preferred that these little coins here were the real deal, but it got stuck with it. Should have known better, and yeah, made that error. But for $15, learned a little lesson that a website called Wish, you can't really be putting much faith into it. And yeah, yeah, whatever coins you got that have value to you, that is pretty cool. And oh wow, okay, Kimberly, you're really on a roll here. Uh, how much is a small silver bar? Well, now I wish I brought out that coin with me, but yeah, I just bought a silver a 1 ounce silver coin from JM Bullion, and I paid about $30 for that 1 ounce piece of silver. And I mean, it's a beautiful coin. I'll probably bring it out later on and make a video about that. After I shave and do something about my face for radio here. But yeah, JM Bullion, they're a legit dealer, and yeah, I'm paying like $30 per ounce for some pretty nice silver coins. And so it's not really that expensive if you want to go ahead and do a little bit of research and buy the real thing. Now, of course, the pricing on the silver coins, the legitimate silver coins, it varies. It varies depending on how much how many coins you buy. And if you just buy one or two, you're going to be paying a little higher price. If you buy 100, of course, they're going to bring the price down for you. But yeah, it just depends. But to buy legitimate silver and to be using that like for prosperity rituals, for stacking, for just keeping in case we do see an economic meltdown. And I mean, that would not surprise me with all the currency that the governments of the world are just printing out of thin air. I fully expect to see an economic meltdown, and having some legit silver on hand or gold on hand is definitely prudent. Now, I don't know about the value of colloidal silver. I'd have to look that up, but it's got a lot of health benefits to it, and it's probably probably got some pretty good value there too. So, but yeah, lately I've been learning about silver bullion and gold bullion, and That little escapade on Wish was my first experience in buying silver through the mail, and learned what not to do in that situation. So, yeah, definitely some incredible health benefits to colloidal silver. Not really too sure how that is to be pronounced, but yeah, some very good health benefits to that. Okay, so yeah, we got into a few topics there, and yeah, any other topics that you'd like to hear about? I would definitely like to see what I could do in that regard. I thought in another broadcast we could go into tarot cards, and yeah, I definitely need to brush my hair. I was out chopping weeds and working in the dirt, so I know I'm not really ready for primetime TV here. But and I do tend to do more of the radio type work than live camera work. Okay, yeah, definitely. This is a good time to be working on prosperity rituals, prosperity. Prosperity, getting your prosperity grid up. A lot of our reality is based on what we believe to be true. And with our intention, with our inner beliefs, we can believe something to be true that is actually not true. And we can make it our truth. And I mean, we can really use the inner power of intention to either benefit our lives or to screw our lives up unconsciously. And I believe that if we're focusing on positive growth, both on a material, uh, in the material realm, spiritual realm, emotional realm, if we're focusing on good, positive growth, that we can bring in, that power of manifestation into our life, and we can begin to create an abundance for ourselves, be it material abundance, abundance in love, abundance in just inner positive vibes. And we have the ability to do that. Now, a lot of people, they just believe what they hear on the news. A lot of times it's just, gloom and doom 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They believe that to be reality. They make that their reality, and they just go through life in a miserable state. And I mean, I used to be that way. And I've learned over time that it's a good practice to turn that TV set off for several hours a day. Matter of fact, I don't watch much news at all, except maybe a half hour a day, and that's it. The rest of my time, I spend focusing on my own meditation, focusing on my own inner work, focusing on creating my own reality. And I mean, in this economic downturn that most people are complaining about, we're actually doing fairly well. I mean, this is the best year our home businesses have done. You know, this year from hell 2020. I know I don't look it, but yeah, we're actually doing fairly decent. I mean, I'm not going to be making the Forbes top 100 or anything like that, but yeah, we're definitely doing better than what we were last year and the year before that. And I credit that just to our own inner attitude. We just decided 2020 was going to be the roaring 20s for us, and it didn't start out that way. It started out just the opposite, but we're able to turn it around. And I believe if we can do that, anybody can do that. Yeah, TV programming is bad. You're poisoning your energy. Yeah, and I used to watch that. Oh my God, 10 hours a day. I had an office job. And I mean, I would get home from that. I'd be turning on the TV, vegging out, eating a little bit, going to bed, getting up the next morning, starting the whole day over again, starting out with TV. And then, of course, when you're talking around the office, it's like, everybody's talking about what they saw on TV. Very few people talking about what they're creating, what kind of a life they're building for themselves. It's mostly just the spectator stuff, you know, and people seeing what's on TV and talking about that. And it helps if you're, instead of, being a consumer, if you're being a creator focused on creating your own way in life. Yeah, I worked as a Christian minister for 6 years, and yeah, did fairly good at that. But I had an awakening during that time, and just felt I had to go beyond, that paradigm. I mean, the limiting belief of the Christian church. I just got to a point where I was growing beyond that, and I just had to go my own way. But yeah, I was in a rather conservative and very traditional brick and mortar Christian church way out in the country. And, just the beliefs about that. Yeah, that was in that church. It was a very kind, loving church. And I mean, there were some very good times in that place. But I mean, I was just a lot more universal. I mean, I just could not bring myself to say that there is no salvation outside the Christian church, because I clearly know that there is. So yeah, I just had to let that go. Tidewater, Virginia. Well, Kimberly, I'm glad you dropped by. Yeah, what denomination or organization are you ordained in? Seems to be a little time lag there, but yeah, that's neat. And people can do wonderful things in the name of religion. Uh, I'm kind of beyond that stage now. I kind of count myself as being spiritual, but not religious. And yeah, okay, yeah, no religion, no doctrine. Yeah, that's good. I mean, people have to go their own route. I mean, I started out Roman Catholic, and that was back in the 1960s. And Vatican II, baby. And just for me, I thought that was going to be my whole life. And at one point in time, I was in the high school seminary getting ready to be ordained into the priesthood. And once I got out of high school seminary and got into the college seminary, I began to have doubts. And I moved out of the Catholic Church, started going into other Christian denominations and checking those out. And I just, like the old song by YouTube says, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And I just went through that period of searching for about a good 40 years in my life. And then finally, I just started waking up and just realized, I can't be looking to religion to fill what I need inside. I've got to find it inside. And that's when I started practicing meditation, started getting into some pretty deep meditation, 3 hours a day. And that's when I just started waking up, and I just left religion behind. I still, if people find a value in it, that's great. Go for it, stay with it, but be prepared to allow yourself the freedom to move beyond that if your situation calls for it. Well, thank you. Oh, that's it. I've got to subscribe. Well, Kimberly, I'm glad you dropped by. I have to admit, I didn't like that first comment about I got a face for radio, but kind of looking closely at the merchandise, you've got a point. And next time I'll focus on having a better presentation for the live stream. Today I just kind of whipped it out of the dirt, literally, and yeah, just started seeing what I could do. I'm still testing this, still testing this. So getting used to doing the live streams, but yeah, I think a shave, haircut, shampoo, good trim, and we'll definitely we'll definitely do a lot better in the future. So, anyway, yeah, if you want to hear more about certain areas, I've got a background going back about 40 some years in a variety of different traditions. The Hermetic is one of them. And yeah, I'd be willing to share my experiences and just let you know what I think and what my experiences have been. And we're all going to have different experiences. We all bring different things into the equation, our different inner beliefs, attitudes, and that all colors, you know, what we do, whether it's Hermeticism, Wicca, uh, Hinduism, Buddhism, you know, what have you. But yeah, we all bring something different to the table, and I'm willing to give my 2 cents worth. Okay, you were on the Travel Channel. Okay, well, that sounds interesting, definitely. Well, I think I've got to go now. I think this has definitely taught me a few things about how to do live streams, how to kind of tidy up before the live streams. I was having problems with past live streams. I was getting kicked off the air after about 5, 10 minutes. But we've almost got a half hour here with no problems whatsoever. So yeah, I think we can definitely plan on doing, you know, live streams more often. And definitely when it's a nice day outside, I'll be bringing the laptop outside and just hanging out. So yeah, definitely let me know what you want to hear about, what kind of topics you'd like to explore, and I'd be more than happy to try to you know, explore them with you. Okay, well, Kimberly, thank you for dropping by, and anybody else out there that's been quiet, thanks for dropping by. We'll catch you later, and until then, take care and thanks. Bye bye.